Before we begin, I'd like to implore you to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments, because the more people subscribe, the more the content gets pushed out to more viewers. Those viewers can join this growing community, post tips and tricks, or they can post requests, and then I'll do research on those requests, and then I'll share with everyone. So when it comes to, for example, AI, a lot of stuff was actually not requested, but it was a lot of stuff I learned myself was because of viewers just like you. So I've said this repeatedly. One time I did a night stream, I think it was close to 4 hours, where one of my viewers stayed with me up and taught me quite a lot of stuff, and it was way over my head. But since then, I know obviously I've done more research as well, and I understand where it's more. So that's why I'm able to share with that. So that's why I said it's always good to be sure to subscribe. Okay, on to the intro. And the intro is Qwen3 30B for the Skewb puzzle. Okay, all right, so on to the show. So as you can see here, so this puzzle, it's a unique corner turning twisty puzzle. So basically it's part of this series which I started with the Rubik's Cube. So, and there's different variations of cube type of, obviously Rubik's Cube type of puzzles. So, so that one, the model that I did use, it actually did it pretty well. It wasn't optimized, so I optimized. But since then, all these other puzzles, they've been struggling to get it right. So that's why basically this entire exercise, the reason I do this type of series is to see, or to answer a question to myself and to you guys to see if do you really need programmers anymore with the AI, especially if you can run local AI. So as you can see, yes, you still need programmers. At least in my lifetime, AI is not going to replace programmers. That's my conclusion. And also, if you're a creative artist, whether you're what do you call it, like video, you make videos, content, yeah, AI is not going to replace you. It might replace you for, I guess, some basic stuff, but for not even complex stuff, for medium to complex stuff, AI is not ready there yet. Because the problem is, if you remove the creative people, including programmers, the AIs will just be talking to each other. So that doesn't make any sense. You still need humans to create the creative original content, is what I'm getting at. Okay, so basically there's 6 sides or 6 faces, and you solve it by mastering a new form of reasoning. So I'll explain that when we actually generate the code, if it actually comes out properly. So as I've repeated so many times, is the reason I use llama.cpp is because it's not because just use C++, it's because it's one of the fastest ways to run local AI. And you can use something like llama. So llama is fantastic because it obstructs, no, I don't know, obstructs, what's the word? Yes, it takes away all the complex stuff and comes by default very, very well, and it's obviously it's cross-platform. Llama.cpp is also cross-platform, but if you don't have the hardware or you want speed performance like I do, llama.cpp is worth it. Yes, you have to run on the command line, but they do have a web UI, which we're going to use today, and it's not too bad. I'm saying, especially when you get the model, you have to get the model anyway. You can see how it was trained, and then use those parameters to put into. You can use the web UI if you don't want to do it on the command line. So yeah, so the good thing about that is, for example, my GPU is the dedicated GPU. It's 32 gigs of HBM2 memory, so I'm able to get very large models, although my RAM is limited, not VRAM, RAM. So that's another reason why I do use GGUF and model quantization. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I literally made a video on this. Was it just yesterday or the day before? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. I actually talked about it. It was just a podcast. I explained why I use GGUF models. So this format basically allows fast loading and easy sharing. You can fit large models onto your GPUs. For example, the Q5K XL, the version which I'm going to use today. Quantization also reduces the memory footprint for 30 billion model. It allows high performance on consumer grade hardware cards. And then for optimal sampling parameters, as I said before, you can get this from the where you get the model from, and I'll show you that again. I've done this before. And so running the local AI server, you can download llama.cpp. I'm lucky I'm using Fedora Linux, where I can simply install it from the repositories. It's a simple sudo dnf install llama-cpp, and it's there. So what you need to know is obviously the path to your GGUF file, the model. I'm using I have a dedicated partition, so it will be in my AI partition. The context size, and then the port number. This is to use the web UI. The GPU layers. So this one is, I just made up this number, make it big enough, and it's more than big enough. For this particular mode, I think it just needs to be 50 or so. We'll check that as well. And then the chat, this is the chat template, is Ginger. So this is, make sure the template engine is enabled. And all these parameters, I said I'll show you this as well. So when I provided the prompt, this was the output. So it looks pretty nice, but you notice something here. I said today we're not going to say anything today. We're just going to grab the code as is. As you can see here, some screenshots, and we are live. If you want to watch this later, or if you're watching right now, by the way, you should see if you're doing live chat, your live chat will show up here. As you can see, somebody from what do you call this? Kick is spamming me, so I think I have to Kick needs to get better at that. It's getting the same person spamming me every single day. All right, so I'm going to stop it right there. We'll come back to this later. So I'm going to open up a new tab here, and I'm going to show you what is it here? I'm going to go to Hugging Face, and I'll show you where I download this particular model. So you see, this is the Qwen3 30B A3B instruct 2507. Obviously 2507, I believe that's the month it probably came out in the year, and it's a GGUF file. As you can see here, depending on your system, there's different sizes. There's 1-bit, 2-bit, 3-bit. I'll definitely stay away from those ones because they're probably not going to be accurate, and they're going to have a lot of issues. So that will make you probably dislike the model. Start with at least 4-bit. The one I usually get is usually a 4km as my minimum. You see the 4km is 18.6 gigabytes in file size. And then obviously if you can, you get the extra large one, or they bump up to the Q5, like Q5km, and anything up after that is pretty good. Anything bigger than Q4km is really good. So if you can, obviously, if you're able to fit this, if you have the resources, get this one, the BF16. You see it's 61.1 gigabytes. So I can't get this one. I'll explain to you why. Number one is this is not going to fit onto my my GPU, but the GGUF models, they're pretty smart. They can use part of your GPU and system RAM. Now you might say, oh, just use the system RAM. As you guys know, I only have 32 gigs of system RAM, so I can't, excuse me. Now you guys might say, wait a minute, if your GPU is 32 gigs, you have 32 gigs RAM, that's 64, so this guy can perfectly fit in your on your system. No, it can't. Here's why. I have an integrated graphics which uses 4 gigs of that, so meaning that I only have 28 plus 32, so this would be way too big. Can I try some of these smaller ones, like for example this 8-bit one, this 32 and that? Yes, I could, but I really want everything to fit inside the GPU and run. So I could probably get a 6-bit one, for example this one, or this extra large one. That should give it enough room to work. So yeah, that's true. I should probably get a Q8. Not this one, the Q8 would not fit, but definitely the 6 one would probably be more accurate as well. So really depending on your system. So if we go down here, I'm going to scroll down and just a little bit here, you can see the reason I chose the Qwen3 is because you see the performance. It's 3 times faster. It uses less RAM as well, so that's why I grabbed that one. Now keep on going down here. You can read. You guys can read this. So, and the reason I picked this is you see the number of GPU layers here. As I said, it's 48, so I put it at 50. And these are the other tests. If you want to take a look at that, that's why I chose this particular model. Now I've gone through this before. That's why I'm zipping through it. So I want to show you the settings to use. So when we go down here, you see it says best practices. It says sampling parameters is set using a temperature of 0.7, a top P of 0.8, top K of 20, mean P of 0, and it tells you that the presence penalty, you should set it between 0 and 2, right? So this here is important because we can set this up when we actually run the model. You can set it on the command line, or you can set it onto the in the web UI. So now, as you can see here, I do have some output. I'll show you this in a second. I'll put it up if you're on a vertical screen. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go, actually I don't need to do that. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to start up my cooler, because the dedicated GPU, it's a server grade GPU, but it did not come with a cooling apparatus. So I have a 3D printed fan shroud with a 40 millimeter fan, which pushes air through it. So when it does that, I do need to I do need to run a cooler for it. I mean, I need to use these cooler applications for it. So I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller. Hopefully you guys don't need to see this. Why can't I resize this? What is going on here? Okay, here we go. You guys don't need to see this part here. So system fan 2. Okay, I'll bump this up. So that's for the dedicated GPU here. My system, as you can see, it's Ryzen 5 5600 GT. That really makes no difference. So that's up and running. Then what I'm going to do is go back to the command line. Here in the command line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the llama-server and use that model. I've already downloaded that model. So it's in my, as I said, it's in my mount my partition, AI partition. So all I did was run it. You see it says Qwen3 30B. Let me zoom in just a little bit here. You guys can see what's going on here. You can see I use Ginger. I explained this is the context window size. So this allows me to have a conversation with the AI model. So for example, if I ask it something, it won't forget what I asked it. For example, if I ask it, like, let's talk about Toronto, for example, we can talk about Toronto. I ask who's the mayor of Toronto. Then after that, I said, what does the mayor do? So that's what I'm saying. That type of conversation is based on the size of the context. If you make it too small, it will forget things, right? So that's another reason. That's what I'm saying. Like, you do need some resources, whether it's RAM or VRAM, in order to do that. So you can see I'm running the Q5KXL. So I could probably run the Q6 one, but I'm okay with this one. When it says CUDA, I've explained this before. CUDA usually means, because it was purely 100% NVIDIA when the AI, at least the local stuff, started. Since then, obviously, we've had AMD with their ROC M, and then you had Intel. I think they have their One API or something like that. And then there's obviously you can run stuff on the CPUs. There's also Apple with their Apple Silicon. But I guess they're too lazy, or they don't want to change. I don't blame them. So this, you're always going to see CUDA init stuff here, but that just means GPU. Okay, I don't know why this social stream ninja always goes to the wrong monitor. Okay, so you can see here it's detected my AMD GFX 906. That's the MI60 Instinct MI60. It's going to use the number of threads 6, as you can see here, because I have 12 threads, because I have, as I said, Ryzen 5 6800 GT. The G is for the integrated graphics, which I use to power the monitors. So as you can see, all this stuff here. Yeah, so if I scroll the way down, I should probably just zoom. Yeah, here we go. So you see it only used 49 layers, GPU layers. So 48. Now if you remember, it did say 48, but remember when you're counting in the computers, it starts at 0, not at 1. So it's 49. That's why I said 50. I should have put 50, it's fine. And then you see how much of the GPU RAM it's actually using. It's using 20 gigs. And of course, it's always good to leave a little bit of space, because I said that it has to do some thinking and etc. as well. So, oh, I thought it was finished. Yeah, see, this is another reason I don't want to get the bigger one, because you can see how long it takes to load. So load it up into the GPU, so it's finished, and it gives me the URL I can go to. It's 8081 here. So we don't need this anymore. I think I'll just put it out of the way here. I do need another browser. Okay, so I'll grab that and put it here. Okay, so I can just type localhost, and what is it? 8081. Okay, and I'm gonna delete that one. Where's delete? Okay, delete that chat. We don't need it. Okay, so you see here, this is llama.cpp. It says send a message to start server info. You see it loaded my model. Now before I do anything, obviously we go to settings, and if you remember those parameters I showed you. So if we look here, this one is the temperature. You see set it to 0.7. The top K, you said K top tokens here, set this to 20. The min P, I think this is the one here. This is set this to 0.8. And then what we do after that, we go to the penalties here. If you remember, under penalties, so under penalties, we go down to it was the presence penalty. So it's one of these ones here. I don't know why it's this. Yeah, this is hard to tell, but it's one of these ones here is the presence penalty. So I just set it to 0, and that's it. And then you hit save here at the bottom, and that should be it. So can we get out of here? What is going on here? Is it too big? Okay, it looks like it's too big. I need to size this a little bit. Okay, there we go. Why is it too big? Okay, there we go. So then you hit save. So this time it's going to close because I don't need. All right, now all I need to do is put the prompt here. So my prompt is going to be generate an HTML5 3D Skewb puzzle. So then I hit enter. You can also, depending on the model, if you have, it's like a vision type model, you can also upload a what do you call it? You can upload a file, like say a PDF file, tell it to do something with it. But this one is very simple. All I care about is just it's basically chat to generate something. So then I press that. Then I'm checking the temperature here. It is gonna go up, but I'm gonna put it at 35 so it's not too loud for you guys. This is the GPU temperature. You see it's already going up. I also control it manually because I can't control it in the BIOS, or I have a script but I don't trust the script because I said it goes up really fast. So you can see the RPMs are already just below 7,000 now right now. So I'm okay with that. And I'll let it do its thing. So while it's doing its thing, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up another one, and I will call that one index 2, I think it is. Yeah, I'll call it index 2. So I'll say touch index 2.html. Oh wait, just call it index. Yeah, no, index 2. Okay, touch index 2. You know what? I'm going to use nano index 2. I'll use nano this time. Haven't used nano in a while. So once this code is finished, I'll just paste it in there, then we'll run it in a web browser. By the way, I finished, and yesterday I actually put up the revised jamboservices.com. So I'll probably talk about it. I haven't even talked about jambo.com, the revised site as well. So I'll probably talk about both of them, you know, maybe in a night stream or something. So as I repeat again, so the purpose of this exercise is to see if the code that's obviously AI, local or proprietary or whatever, it will generate code much faster than I can. But the thing is it accurate? Does it actually do the stuff that you know, a custom would want? Like, for example, if I knew nothing about coding and I wanted this type of queue, is it able to do something that I would not be able to? So that's the entire purpose of this exercise, or this type of exercises. So once I'm impressed with what the AI does, then maybe you guys are right, because I've noticed all my programming tutorials don't do very well on on any of the channels. So maybe, because I do talk to my customers as well, and they tell me that AI is fantastic and blah 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 blah. So maybe I need to stop doing I need to stop doing AI. I need to stop doing programming tutorials, because it looks like AI is taking over that, and I'm now a dinosaur. I need to be put out to pasture, right? So maybe I just go and do something else. Okay, that's a lot of code. Okay, so it's explaining what it does here. Hopefully this does work. You see, if you notice my prompt, I never told it to use Three.js. That was its own thing. And so it says here, the puzzle maintains the mathematical properties of a real Skewb, while rotating a face affects only the corner pieces that belong to that face. Okay, so I'm going to turn, the temperature is at 62, so I can actually turn this down to 2%. That's perfectly fine. And yeah, so I said I'm using Nano today. Okay, so what I do is, let me put it that way first. So one thing I like about this is all I need to do is just hit this copy here, and then go to Nano, right click, paste, and I'm gonna save this. Okay, now I should be able to drag it right into the web browser, but sometimes that doesn't work, but I'll try it first. If it doesn't work, I'll need to start up a Python server just for HTTP. Let's see if it actually does work. Oh, okay, that's actually better, but yeah. yeah, okay, so just to show you that I'm not cheating here, I'm going to go to more tools, and I'm going to go to developer tools, just to show you that there should be nothing. If they, I should hit console here. Yeah, so there's nothing, there's no errors. So meaning that it is using Three.js. Can I rotate? Yeah, so it's using Three.js. So clearly, this is better than what it produced before, but that is not the way, that's not the way the puzzle is supposed to look like. Okay, so let's click randomize. Yeah, so clearly that's not the way the puzzle is supposed to look like or behave. But it's way better. So this was the one I was generated today. If we see the one I was generated when I wrote the article, let's clear that one. See, that one didn't even, see that one, yeah, it generated this. Click R to reset. I don't know why this, okay. The point is that this one didn't actually have any graphics. This one, surprisingly, the one we did today, does. Okay, but it's not, you know, it's clearly not working, and I don't know why this is all dark as well. But yeah, so this is, I promise not to criticize it. That'll be in tomorrow's tutorial. Okay, so we're done here. So let me show you how you can stop the AI. Very simple. You just, all you do is you go back to your command line and the server, and you press Control-C. Okay, you just press Control-C and it's done. See, there we go, it's finished. We don't need this anymore. We're finished with it. Oh, you know what, I'm actually, yeah, I'm done with it. So, and then I'm going to close all of these. And yeah, this is also done, so let's close this, and we can close this. Let's finish up the tutorial. So if you're ready to take your skills further, I have books. They're available on Amazon. You search for Jumbo. The link is also in the description. I also have courses on llama.shop.com. The link is also in the description. And if you want any one-on-one tutorials, or you want consultation services for the tutorials, contact me at llama.com/contact, and for the tutorials at the consultations at llama-services.com/contact. The links for all of this are also in the description. I also have some other recommended resources. I am also an author, so my first novelette is The Algorithmic Serpent. It's by me, Jumbo. And it's about an AI scientist who creates an AI system and loses his mind, so he has to regain control of his mind. An AI system, it's a psychological thriller, and this is the paperback version. You can pick it up on Amazon right now. It's very affordable because it's mostly at cost. So pick it up if you have the means, and let me know what you think. I love writing. And my greatest one is this Recession Business Blueprint. It's been around, I think, for, is it a month now or so? Maybe it's not, maybe almost a month. It's a Recession Business Blueprint. It's a guide to help you start a business. So whether you need help getting funding, mentorship, or talking to suppliers, or deciding where to run the business, it should be online. Should it be in your garage? Should it be in your? I was running it my business in a condo or somewhere else. There's a guide to help you with all that in the Recession Business Blueprint. So for all my books, if you want to contact me, I'll show you how to do that as well. You can pick it up, they're all alive as well. Oh, for all my books, there's also ebook versions. The ebook versions are free if you have Kindle Unlimited. And then if you don't want to know more about me, I have a blog for every article I write on jumbo.com. I write the vast majority of those articles. I am a software engineer. I'm also an author, and obviously hope to be an influencer. So you can explore my book page on Amazon. And if you need support for the consultation service, at jumboservices.com. And if you're ready to learn, at jumboshop.com for your online courses. You can use the comment form to post anything related to the topic. For example, today we talked about AI, talked about GGUF, quantization, Qwen3, the model, LLM, obviously the puzzles, Rubik's Cube type puzzles. Those are perfectly fine for this comment form here. And the best way to contact me is always to use the contact forms, or jumbo.com/contact, or jumboshop.com/contact, or jumboservices.com/contact. And if you want to follow me, these are the channels: Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. Okay, now I'm going to put on the quick reminder: subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments. Because the more people subscribe, the more the algorithm sends it out to more viewers. Those viewers join this growing community. They can post their own tips and tricks, or they can post requests, and then I'll research those requests, and then I will share with everyone, just like I'm sharing right now. Okay, and put on the outro and let you know that you can find out what's upcoming. Simply go to the ojambo.com, go to watch menu, live summary. You can see we just finished this tutorial, and then tomorrow we're going to optimize that code that was generated. After that, we're actually going to use two video models, one 2.1 and one 2.1 1.3b and one 2.2 14b, to use the tiny encoder. That's what we'll talk about. I believe it was yesterday or the day before that, and yeah, it was yesterday. And then yeah, so we see the speed improvement. So, and then after that, we're going to host a multiplayer game server on Raspberry Pi 0W. It's called Kamana, I believe. Yes, and that's, oh, so let me actually get the full name. I don't want to butcher it, which you've already done a pretty bad job with that. So the game server is actually called Nakama. It's called Nakama. So that's the one there. This one here, Nakama. And then after that, we're going to do a quick beginner guide to game development using Godot version 4. I think it's 4.6. Yeah, so that's the day after that. And obviously there's more stuff upcoming after that as well. All right, so I don't think I got any chat requests. It was just the spam from Kick. So with that said, I'll leave you guys. I'm not sure if I'll have time to do, I'm a little bit tired from putting up the ojamboservices.com. So I think I will take a little break. If I'm up to, I'll probably do a night stream, but most likely I'll probably leave it for a little bit later on the weekend. Other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern.